What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is John. Today I have for you a convenience good, the Matein hard shell laptop travel backpack I picked up using Amazon Prime for $39.99. Today we're doing an unboxing of first impressions as well as a demonstration. Let's test out just how capable this backpack is. From what I understand, it's waterproof. It's also anti-theft and can also expand 1.5 inches from what you see on the table in front of me here today. So it does get deeper, and because it is a hard shell backpack, it does keep in line with some of the favorite types of luggage I review on this channel, such as hard shell type luggage, which I have demonstrated the advantages and disadvantages in the past. So let's go ahead and take a look at this hard shell backpack. Like I said, it's waterproof according to Matein's website. It has anti-theft and it can expand and can accommodate up to a 15.6 inch laptop. Without further ado, let's get into this unboxing and first impressions. So here in front of us is the 15.6 inch Matein travel hard-sided backpack. Similar to other hard-sided luggage made out of plastic on this channel we've reviewed before, is the fact it can be expanded 1.5 inches deep. So accommodates up to a 15.6 inch laptop. Not sure how that comes into play with a 16 inch laptop. Apple did just recently announce a 16 inch MacBook, but without further ado, what makes this different from the other hard-sided luggage we've reviewed, the plastic suitcases, is the fact this has a fabric texture covering the plastic underneath. Now, you're probably wondering why, and that is mainly to do with the fact that you wear a backpack, so it needs to match whatever clothing you're wearing, or at least look similar to whatever you're wearing, and that is the reason why this has fabric on it. So it is water resistant, mainly because it is plastic, and we will talk about what makes this water resistant in a moment. But let's go ahead and get inside, show you some of the features, because it actually has some really interesting features, pack it, and then maybe do a couple of demonstrations like a water resistance demonstration. So stick around for that. Now, when you open the bag for the first time, you'll notice a set of user instructions. Don't ignore these instructions. It doesn't cover warranty information or product care information. Simply it covers how to set the combination. So this bag does have anti-theft. I think you remember mentioning that at the beginning of the video. It does have a combination lock. It actually holds the zippers in place, and we'll talk about that here momentarily. But what's really cool is, even though you might pass this little packet by, do not, because it has simple instructions how to set the combination lock. Now, even though the outside of the bag is slim, it's sleek, it's modern, has a clean profile, I think what you'll realize is the inside of the bag just a tad dull and uninspiring, poorly finished. Now, keeping in line with other luxury travel brands and companies that make luggage and suitcases, you can see the Matein logo printed on the inside of the bag in this sort of pattern to sort of mock other travel and luggage making companies. But what you'll actually notice here is, like I said, a little bit dull and uninspiring and poorly finished. So just a little bit generic looking, even though this has numerous pockets for pens and portable power banks and tablets and things of that nature. What you'll actually notice here is, like I said, the finish, and that is in large part, I think, due to this poorly finished middle pocket here. So as you can see, it's actually sticking out a little bit. It's actually sort of pleated. It's actually creased to give it a three-dimensional look. But as you can see, it's actually kinked over here and actually skewed to the left, making it look just a little bit improper or ruined, and potentially B grade. So as you can see, not the best finish. Nothing to complain about in terms of stitching here. Like I said, yes, it is a little bit dull and uninspiring, but what mainly drives this point home in terms of poor finish is the fact that this pocket, even though it's a sort of three-dimensional pocket, it's sticking out, it's pleated, it's terribly finished here. It's got this horrible kink, and not sure how to get rid of that, unfortunately. And most importantly, it's actually extremely compact. So not only can it accommodate up to a 15.6 inch laptop, but if you need it to be thin like the profile of your laptop, this will absolutely positively be that way. Unless, of course, you want to make it deeper. Now, before we go ahead and demonstrate how to expand it, I quickly just wanted to show you and reiterate how streamlined and elegant it is. Just by looking at the front, of course, it does look like it has a pocket in the front, but again, what makes it streamlined is the fact that it lacks a pocket in the front. So this character line, or this belt line, is just part of the structure of the bag. No front pocket. And of course, most importantly, like I said earlier, what gives this bag extra drop protection is, of course, that A, it's plastic, but B, that they've incorporated some of these plastic features into the feet of the bag. So not sure if there's plastic here, or maybe if they've sort of just made this material so taut that it's actually kind of hard, but these corners here are actually pretty sharp and pretty hard, meaning it should resist impact when you drop it. Now, similar to other hard-sided luggage on this channel before, it too expands 1.5 inches. Impressive for a small backpack, but simply expand it by unzipping it, and of course you can see it actually comes out an additional 1.5 inches. So of course you can expand it like I said, but if you're someone who likes it streamlined and compact like myself, you can see that the zippers run great, by the way. It's easily compressed back down into a much thinner backpack. Now, even though Matein is a lesser known brand, it's a generic brand, it's a third-party company, what you'll actually notice is the attention to detail in terms of padding. So comfortable, thick padding at the lower back, and of course at the sides, and of course at the shoulders with the shoulder straps here. Now, what I love about this backpack is making up for the lack of pockets at the front of the bag. As you would expect from any travel bag or any regular backpack, they do have a pocket on the inside of the bag at your back. So in order to access items in this back pocket, you would simply have to take the backpack off, which actually plays a role in its anti-theft design. So let's go ahead and talk about the anti-theft features here. And also what I think you'll notice is a couple of the other features on the back of the bag, such as this zipper pocket on the strap here, great for maybe some car keys, and of course a loop for sunglasses and denoted as such. So as I said at the beginning of the video, this bag is anti-theft, and what allows Matein to advertise this bag as being anti-theft is, of course, this combination lock at the side of the bag, which actually locks the zipper. So currently it's set to a random pattern, but if I actually type in my passcode, I can actually just press the button and it releases the zippers. Really cool. Now, locking the bag is just as simple. Hold down on the top button to open up the locks on the inside. Now, reinserting the zippers into the lock can be just a little bit annoying. You do have to finagle with it a little bit, but as you can see, getting them in there, quick and easy, and now the bag is secure. So as you may remember from a few segments ago, inside this backpack is still a laptop computer, not removed. Leading me to my next point, the advantage, I would say, to having a hard-sided travel laptop backpack. So like I said earlier, it's a hard plastic shell on top, and because the laptop is actually stored at the back of the bag, up against your back, again, having this hard-sided plastic and of course the placement of the laptop ensures extra protection that if something is laid on top of this bag, not an issue you have to worry about your laptop display being damaged. So like I said, just to quickly demonstrate, the laptop is at the back of the backpack, sitting up against your back, and of course at the top is the hard plastic shell, keeping not only the composure of this bag, but keeping it structurally rigid and from heavier items impacting items on the inside of the bag. Now, one of the downsides, I would say, to having a bag with features like a portable USB charging cable is the fact that cables like this, especially cheap third-party cables, become taut and wear out. So if this breaks, which it may eventually break, how easy is this to repair? Now, on the inside of the bag, you can see where the cable plugs into, and it actually looks like it's a modular piece that you can take out and remove. So even though I'm trying to remove it, it's not coming out. There are some locks here that look like it could release this piece. Not sure if Matein is open to replacing this wire if it does break. Just food for thought and something to consider. This is potentially irreplaceable. And last but not least, the most important feature is, of course, waterproofing. So at the back of the bag, just a little bit skeptical because it does look porous. You can see that the padding is, of course, plush and soft, all of which make this less water resistant. But as you might be able to tell, the side of the bag has non-porous material, and even though the front of the bag with its textured lining still has plastic underneath, again making it non-porous. So a little bit skeptical actually about the back of the bag, so maybe we'll test that out as well. But for now, let's pour some water on top of the bag. As you might remember, my laptop is still on the inside of the bag, and as you can see, water beads off as if this was a freshly waxed car. And of course, if we flip the bag over on its back side here, let's actually dump some more water here. Now, like I said, this padding is probably porous and I can feel it retaining water, but looking at the inside of this pocket here, it's relatively dry. The only moisture inside is, of course, from my fingers, but also what I failed to mention was non-porous material between the inseams and the padding here, keeping water out. So I think you saw it did a phenomenal job actually of beading water off the top of the bag. And of course, let's check the laptop inside. So I don't have Apple Care, but the inside of the bag perfectly dry. And just to quickly prove, you can see all the water on the table here. One thing not water resistant are the combination lock instructions, but perfectly capable and dry laptop. So like I mentioned earlier, traveling with this backpack, it should protect your computer and your belongings because of the plastic outer shell, and of course because it's water resistant. But one of the issues here I've noticed is having the laptop in the back of the bag. If you do drop it on the ground, you can hear a muted thump. So there is sort of padding, but the laptop itself, I would say, is unfortunately sitting at the very bottom of the backpack, directly making contact with the ground. So dropping the backpack vertically onto the ground, not very protective. But like I said earlier, because padding is so thick and robust at the back, not only does it obviously make the backpack comfortable to wear, but if you do drop the backpack horizontally, no problem. So the upside here, like I said, it's protective because it's waterproof and it has this harder outer shell to keep heavier items from breaking the bag and destroying items inside. But the downside here, and what actually other backpack manufacturers fail, is protection at the very bottom of the bag. Now, not many times you're dropping the bag horizontally. Almost 8 out of 10 times I would say you're dropping the bag vertically. And most importantly, before we end the video, wearing the backpack, it's extremely comfortable. I love the fact that even though it can expand and contract, it's still slim and streamlined and squared off, which actually gives it a more organized appearance and makes it easier to pack. It also sits higher at the top of the back, again, making it just a little bit easier to transport and overall offering better support. Anyways, guys, that has been an unboxing and first impressions of the Matein hard-sided travel backpack I picked up using Amazon Prime for $39.99. What I love about this backpack is the look and the fit and finish on the outside. It's square, it's compact. That is in large part thanks to this hard-sided piece, which actually makes it more protective against heavy items being dropped on top of it, and also makes it water resistant. It also has water resistant features on the side of the bag with non-porous material. You also get anti-theft features because it does have a zipper lock on the side, which is controlled via a combination. Now, even though it's kind of gimmicky, it works well and no issues. But the downside to this bag, I would say, of course, is because it's a third-party bag, not sure if you can expect Matein to repair this bag. Like I said, on the inside are just cheap, inexpensive third-party accessories like, of course, the USB cable, which could become taut and short out and break. And also what I disliked about the inside is even though the outside of the bag is elegant, it's streamlined, it's modern, it's simplistic looking, the inside of the bag, I think you may remember, was just a little bit dull and uninspiring. Travel is all about being inspired and seeing new things, which is why I am disappointed that the inside of the bag is a little bit lacking and a little bit left to be desired. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. Really nice backpack, and if you are someone who is traveling with hard-sided luggage, this would be a great accessory. What I like about this in particular compared to hard-sided luggage is, of course, because it's a backpack and because you'll be wearing it, it is a nice textured fabric coating, of course, to make it look like it's a piece of clothing instead of a piece of luggage. So, really nice backpack. I think it could be better, but for $39.99, you get some really premium features like water resistance. You get this hard-sided protective plastic piece at the top, and of course, forward-thinking design. So as you might remember, no front pocket, but you do get that front pocket actually at the back of the bag at your back. So you would have to, in theory, take this bag off to access whatever information like credit cards or house keys, but for the most part, I think that also aids in its anti-theft rating. So with that being said, let's close out this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed this unboxing and first impressions and overview. Because I picked this up at Amazon, that does make it a convenience good. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get notified when I post YouTube, and of course share this video with friends and family. My name is John. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video.